Hello and welcome to Crazy Soaps. I'm Eric, joined once again with
Angel.
and
Derek.
bringing you some more One Life to Live, May 8th to the 15th, 1986. Tell me all the credits and we'll chat. This was a good batch. I feel like David and Jenny are all over the place.
I know.
Yeah, I think this is their month.
Yeah, so finishing up their contracts, I guess. And what about that Clover? Bitch.
I don't like her at all.
Ooh,
Now, this is where I've talked to somebody about this before. There's like a dumb bitch and a stupid bitch. And I feel like dumb bitch would be like Tina, and then stupid bitch would be like Clover, because like she's like the real bitch.
Yep.
So anyway, Clover and Rafe are still fighting about Tina, is where we last picked up at the diner that Tina is temporarily working at. I feel like it's not going to be a long time that she's going to be here. I could be wrong.
Never Tina.
That girl, Lita is her name, right? Or Lena?
Lita.
Lita. Okay. So I was trying to listen. I heard Lita and Lena, and I'm like, what's the name? So Lita disappears. We don't know where she went. Meanwhile, in Austria, David and Jenny are still in danger. I forget what Dirk is telling them. Don't try to escape again. I guess they had tried. Whatever. Unsuccessfully. There's men everywhere. Why would you even bother at this point?
Yeah.
I've seen this plot in Charlie's Angels, actually. but it's been done many times where the whole thing is like a political thing where they want David to talk about what their agenda is. I guess because David's like a famous musician, so they want to use his platform. I'm guessing. I don't know. Is that what you guys got, or he's unknown?
I feel like he overthrew the government somehow, and that's why they were after him.
So JR did that in Dallas too. He overthrew it.
Yeah.
Well, he had people do it for him because that's what he does.
Right,
He pays them off.
But that's just like the way they're getting to him is through his music.
Okay, and then since he was a traitor,
Yeah,
or a double agent, it throws everything off. Like double agents are confusing. I think Anna is one as well. Isn't she on GH?
yes.
Very confusing. You never know if they're good, bad, or whatever. But somehow, I feel like if you're a double agent, you would never be in charge of a police force. Just saying.
Yeah.
General Hospital. So we have Delilah on, and Delilah was on a good amount, I thought. She's worried about Rafe and Clover. She's like, so they aren't together at this point, is what I gathered. But I guess maybe they were at some point.
Well, she was so she did a Dominique on GH. She was the surrogate for Rafe and his dead wife. So
that's who Sammy is, right?
Sammy is the surrogate her surrogate daughter.
And then
Rafe's
wife. And Clover has nothing to do with the surrogate. Because I was wondering why they toasted to her later on.
Brad's sister is Sammy's biological mother. I looked this up.
Wait, Connie is?
No, Samantha Vernon, Brad's sister, is.
Oh, Brad's sister.
Yeah,
okay.
I heard that.
Biological mother of Sammy and Rafe's late wife. Yes. So it's like a Lucy Dominique Scotty thing.
Yeah, stole it.
So Samantha died?
Yes, she died.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a copy.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that GH writer was on One Life to Live in 1986, and they're like, they'll forget about it by 1992, 93.
Well, no, right? Because we didn't see any closing credits.
So yeah, right. We don't even get a beginning credits. We're like,
we did get it
we got a whole credits.
We did get a whole credits. I was so happy. I was seeing it
a whole credit. Yeah.
End credits or beginning credits?
No, beginning credits. Beginning credits.
Yeah, beginning. Yeah.
I missed it somehow.
I think
might have took a nap. You never know.
When the lyrics started, because before it was just instrumental.
Yeah.
And now 86, I think that might be the first lyrical version of One Life to Live.
It
8th-15th.
was in
Oh,
May. It was in May.
Was
I
in
can
May.
confirm
So
it was in
yeah,
May.
this is the
Yep,
first
it was
one.
exactly in May, and that
Yeah.
was when they
oh,
added
okay.
Richard to the credits.
Right.
Interesting. Did One Life to Live start in May? Does anybody know the year? I forget.
July of 80.
It was July of 80. Sorry, not
68.
60,
68.
60. Oh my god, 68.
68, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always confused with seasons because I always feel like they change them at seasons, but sometimes the credits are just all over the place. Sometimes they change them at like some random time.
Mhm.
Well,
I
it
always
also
thought they
we can
waited
also
till like
factor
they were
in
renewed.
we can also factor in who's in charge and who and like what
Mm,
who's in charge. So like say Paul Rout started in 84.
right.
He probably wanted to be like, oh, this Sky thing, I want to put people in the credits.
Mhm.
And I guess how many people left too. And if there's still 5 people left in the credits, you probably should get rid of them because sometimes they do keep them for a while.
Well, for the longest time they had like a Sky opening, or I think in the very beginning it was the fireplace, and then they had like this beautiful sunrise and everything like that. One Life to Live is very underrated with their credits. I would say
I'm
their credits mostly snap.
I'm still partial to like the mid '90s credits just because that's when I started watching. It's like
Wait, which one? The
wine glasses, and
Champagne
proposals,
and
and
Nobody.
I love it. I don't know why it's terrible, but I love it.
Do you know
And
why
it's
there
like,
was a fire
I
in the
prefer.
beginning
Okay,
of
I
the
hate.
show?
This is gonna be a hot take, but I prefer that after seeing the Loving credits.
Uh-huh.
That's similar to it, and I think I prefer the One Life to Live ones by a hair over the
Right.
Loving version.
Do you know why they had the fire in the beginning of the show, like in the credits?
no.
Because the
Say it
original
there.
title of the show was Between Heaven and Hell, and they had Agnes Dixon change it at last minute to One Life to Live.
Yeah, they couldn't even say hell on TV, I think,
Yeah.
because that's why they always say what the devil, which me and Bevan figured that out, because because I messaged them, I'm like, why do they always say what the devil? Because they say that instead of they can't say hell, so
Mhm.
which I never knew about until like last year. But anyway, continuing on, Lita stole Tina's keys, and she, I guess, sneaks into her random. It's supposed to be like an apartment, but it looks like a closet. It's so tiny. I wonder if there's even a bathroom in there because um,
Use your
Rafe and
imagination.
Clover plan some day in the cabin. She wants to spend the day with him. I guess she's trying to get closer to him, and I guess they seem kind of flirty-ish. So I guess they're going to try to put them together with Delilah. Trying to get in there. David and Jenny prepare to be separated by the bad guys, the evil villains of Austria. Um, they're going to take Jenny. They don't really tell her where they're going to take her. I don't even think we find out where, but they're just taking her somewhere, I guess, to hide her.
Right.
Um, I guess yeah, I don't know where they're going to take her. Maggie and Herb are there. They have it out a little bit. He's mad because she talked to a doctor that tipped Pete off on what their plan was, I guess, as part of the campaign. Again, I don't remember if we saw some of that because this cuts in random spots and it confuses me. And it cuts like right when it's juicy. So I'm not sure if it's like sometimes it seems like it's the end of the episode. And you
Yeah.
remember like when you put a VCR tape in the back, sometimes it would rewind a little bit and cut off like what
Oh,
you
I
had
hate when
there.
that happened.
Mhm.
That's what I was thinking happened because because it did pick up sometimes, and I was like, oh man, I wanted to see that, but it works out. Um, Delilah says that Clover is using Sammy as a tool to get to Rafe. She makes Clover out to seem like this monster bitch, and she is, as we find out throughout
Yeah.
this batch of episodes. Tina gets to her place where Lita is. She's like, I won't tell anyone you're here. She tries to calm her down because we know Lita is crazy, and she talks to her doll, Lolly, who is alive to her, but no one else. Storyline twist. Wouldn't it have been great if Lolly was like Chucky and like came to life? But anyway, it would have been a
That
first.
would
It would have been a first in daytime. Yeah,
have been before its time, right? Like before the
Yeah.
Chucky series, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
It
I
was in
think no.
90s.
Yeah, yeah. Chucky came out in '88, I believe.
Oh, it was 88.
Right? I think maybe 86. I'm not sure.
I
Like
thought it was
that.
91. I could be wrong.
I feel like
No,
it's
91 was Child's Play
Oh,
3, I think. But
I'm thinking I
oh.
might be thinking of that. I don't know.
I got to see part 3 in the theater. I was only like 11, 12. Anywho, Connie and Brad are on. They're doing lunch. Some dude comes in and he's like creeping by them. We don't really know this man. Tina stops Lena from leaving. Just to keep her there, I guess, for her own good. Tina's actually trying to do a good deed. It
Mhm.
feels like she's trying to be there for this girl and help her because she's kind of crazy. Um, we have dude gives is it the dude there that gives Brad a passport? Yeah, that's that weird dude.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he works for whatever. I don't know the agencies and stuff on
His
One
name
Leaf.
Craig, I think.
It wasn't Craig. It was that other man. It was
Oh,
another weird man.
okay.
But he gave a passport, I guess, to go to Vienna as soon as possible to help. I guess there's got to be other people to help Jenny and David through whatever's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Dirk threatens Jenny as they drive wherever they're driving to. Um, she has to use the bathroom, which was really dumb to me because I'm like, there was several men there. Like, this woman's gonna try to get out of the bathroom. Like, why didn't they surround the place? Whatever, they didn't because they're idiots. Bad guys. I thought for sure like one would be on the side and she'd have to like try to avoid them, but no, they all stand in the front like idiots. Um, so they say that David is a traitor. That's what he says to Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
No one will help you even if you try to get to the embassy and all this stuff because the U.S. people won't help because he's both sides, whatever. So she doesn't know what to do. She just tries calling Vicky the whole entire episode, and she finally gets her
Yeah.
at the end.
I was like, get through. Oh my god, get through.
I was like, I get tired of her saying, operator.
Operator,
I know.
operator.
She's like, collect
This is
calls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
Person
annoying.
call to the United
person
States.
call. Do you speak English?
Yeah, right. Wanda goes to see Jean Claude. That's her new love interest, but he's not there. Asa goes away. He was there. They don't really do anything. Vicky and Clint talk about the party that Ace is throwing. Tina calls for Vicky to come over. She's like, I have a friend here. She doesn't say her name because Lita doesn't want her to say her name because she thinks all the phones are bugged or whatever.
Mhm.
Vicky's very skeptical. She tells Clint that she's gonna go without him, whatever. He's like, it's a setup, don't do it. Which I guess I would be like that too, because look at all the shit she's pulled. Like I wouldn't trust her either.
Mhm.
Um, this Richard stuff still gets on my nerves. Richard comes by Tina's. Are we sure they're blood related? We're definitely
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Ew, why
Yep.
is this
And yep.
happening
And
then?
yep. And yep. And yep. And
Why isn't anybody saying anything? Like I
Why
feel like
didn't
I'm
Vicky should be like,
saying,
you really
I was like,
like
why?
you
His ex-wife. Why didn't she say anything? Aren't you guys
Vicky. Oh my
cousins?
god,
Like,
Vicky
no one seems
would be the main
no one
one.
seems to have a problem with it. It's really weird.
right. Is
I
it normal?
know.
That's why I'm like, they can't be blood related. If Vicky, like, I thought Vicky was going to say it, but nobody says
Like
anything.
Guiding Light did a better job with this. They were like, oh no, you guys are related. You can't be together.
A lot of the, like, even in, like, Days, they did it with, I think when somebody was going to sleep with, Alexis Thorpe, or was it Cassie?
Oh, Cassie.
Remember,
Cassie.
I think Philip and her, or,
Lucas.
yeah, when they were brother and sister, or half, whatever. Clint thinks Tina is, like, he thinks it's a setup. Vicky says she's got to go out of curiosity. That would probably be me too. I'd be like, all right, let me see what this bitch wants, and I'll just leave if I have to, I guess. Brad says he will be back. Jenny attempts an escape from the bathroom, climbs out the window. Nobody stops her because the idiots are in the front. So she jumps into this truck of tires. That's like going wherever. Cassie meets up with Craig. I guess Craig is working with Dirk and crew, and I guess he's just keeping an eye on Dorian and Cassie specifically.
Mhm.
Rob comes over. He seems concerned. Cassie, of course, talks to him. What's your problem? Like, we ain't even married anymore. Stop it. Um, Connie tells Dorian about Brad finding David and Jenny. Jonathan comes by. Who's this Jonathan guy? Did he just come out of nowhere? Or has he been on and I just missed him?
That's Sean Russell. He's Dorian's new love interest, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's handsome.
Yeah, he's Meg's dad on Sunset Beach. That was.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
John Martin.
Yeah, John Martin. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I got to her dad because I only watched like the first year and then like all the deaths, the Terror Island stuff.
Was he in the first episode? Because I know that the
No,
first
he
episode's when-
comes
oh,
on
okay.
in the Kansas storyline.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I don't even think I made it to Eddie Cibrian. I was with Ashley Hamilton. So that's how
God,
far I
I
got.
only watched the first week or two because it was like March.
Yeah, I didn't watch much. It wasn't because I wasn't interested. It was there's 100 other things on, and Days is always my priority and One Life to Live actually. Tina opens up to Lita about her past. She's like, I see similar qualities in me. Obviously, not the full blown crazy. Like she didn't have a lolly, I guess. Vicky comes. Lita comes out of the closet, or wherever she was hiding, another room of some sort.
It was the closet.
Craig is pretending to be this antique dealer or whatever, interested in antiques. He wants to show his watches to Cassie and Rob, I guess. I think was there. Or was Brad there yet? I forget.
I don't think so.
No. Jenny gets out through the window, jumps on the tire truck, which I did mention. Dorian invites Jonathan to Ace's party. Where did Jonathan come from, though? Did he just come in these episodes?
I think he came before that. They just didn't have him in the edits.
Okay, so he wasn't in the edits. All right.
Yeah.
I guess it seems like he's involved with Pete, right? Or her.
Yeah.
Her involved in the campaign shit that hopefully we see. I don't know. It's still talked about, but nothing is, coming of it yet. Pamela and Jean-Claude prepare for the party. Becky Lee comes by. That's Ace's ex-wife.
And the father of Drew Buchanan.
Mother.
Bo's son. Yeah.
But did her and Bo sleep together at this point? Okay, so that was all done?
Yeah, Drew's already been born.
Okay. Because they don't even mention him, I don't think.
Yeah.
Unless you did. Yeah, I didn't catch it.
I thought I heard them mention Drew, but I could be wrong.
Maybe. Yeah. That was a good storyline.
That was.
Brad goes to talk to Cassie before leaving for Austria. David talks to Greta, this other lady who is going to be pretending to be Jenny, about what's next. Dirk returns. Vicky, because he returns Jennyless. Vicky brought Lita home. I guess I don't know if we missed something, but she did end up getting her to her house somehow. Now she's not back at Landfair yet, right? Is she still at Ace's?
Who? Lita?
Vicky and Clint.
No, they're in Landfair.
They're in Landfair?
Yeah, they moved back in.
All right. Because I was confused because they were at Ace's and then they talked about moving back in, but I wasn't sure if they were officially in.
Their old butler was back there, so that's how I knew
right.
Back at Landfair.
Oh yeah, it had to probably be redone, right, after it got blown up. That's probably why they were.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Right. So yeah, she worries about Lita and like if she comes to the party and whatever, because she wanted to interact with people, but it's probably not a smart idea. She is crazy. I mean, would she bring Lolly with her? That would be awkward. Pam fills Becky Lee in on being married to Asa at the same time, and she flips out. So I'm so confused with this Asa thing. So he was married to Pamela for 10 years, they say. Now
Mm-hmm.
Asa came on in the 70s of One Life, right? Or did he come on later?
79.
And Pamela wasn't on until recently?
I guess. She
It's so
doesn't.
confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing. It's like they kind of invented her in a way.
Yeah,
Is.
Yeah, it was retconned. It retconned. It was
I
retconned.
guess. And then like yeah, Pamela was married to him already, so I guess Becky Lee was never really married to him, or he was just married to two women. But then he was under a different name. So that's really
Yeah.
confusing.
You know what? I remember reading that he was married to her when he was married to Bo and Clint's mom too, and then she died. So I
Hmm.
could be wrong, but it's been a long time.
Fill us in on the comments if anybody knows this stuff because it's very complicated.
And I'll read my book. I just don't feel like getting it.
I'll look
Read
into
your book.
it too.
I don't have that book. I do need to. I should get that book.
It's a good book.
I used to have that book. I sold it or something happened to it. I don't know.
So I guess Greta thinks now that they don't have a hold on David that they should just kill him since he can't. He knows too much. I guess. Dirk's like, no, Jenny won't say anything. You know, she knows like we'll kill him. So she won't do anything. And she says that she'll be assuming the role of Jenny, I guess, with this whole um, public thing that they're doing, this public speaking thing.
The role of Jenny is not being played by Greta.
Greta.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Greta.
So she will, yes. Dorian worries that Brad will put Cassie in danger because Cassie, of course, wants to go with Brad. Becky Lee invites everyone over after the party. I'm like, whoever goes anywhere after a party, unless you're whatever. I guess she's singing
They
late,
must
or
have
parties
energy
just don't
because
go that long.
they must have energy because that wouldn't be me. I would go straight
Right?
home after a party.
Same. Or I'd pick one, or yeah, I'd pick one of the over the other. I'd probably go home, nap, and then go to the after thing. Um, and he mentions Richard Abbott, and she's like, dun, 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 the soap look. And that was, I guess, her. Was she married to him in the past? Or we don't know. Right.
Becky Lee Abbott, yep.
Yes, she was.
So she was married to a lot of people in a few years. Asa, Bo, or did she just sleep with Bo?
I think she might have just slept with Bo. I'm gonna look her
And
up.
then Richard.
I want to know.
Because Richard left. Remember, Richard left in like I think the late 70s,
Yeah.
possibly early 80s. I can't
Early
remember.
80s, yeah, close to early 80s, maybe like
I looked it
81.
up before, but I don't remember. Um, Clover tries to get $10,000 for Becky Lee's concert without Becky Lee knowing,
Oh,
and she's like, "Yeah, she wants it in cash." But you can't say anything. I would be like, this bitch is shady. I would go right to Becky Lee. I'd be like, you want some $1,000? Like, and but this guy's an idiot, of course. He didn't seem like an idiot though, because he questioned. He's like, really? No, I'm not going to pay her that much. Fuck that. I'm not going to have the concert.
Yeah.
But he does. He gives her the money, and I guess she's. I don't know if she's supposed to be involved with Becky Lee. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, she acts like she's her manager, and I'm like, where did this come from? It's weird. So I don't know if she's faking it and just being like close to Becky Lee, like to get that $10,000. I don't know. She's shady AF.
Okay, so I have the little. Here we go. Asa married Becky Lee so he could be a father to Bo's baby. That's why he married her. He could be raised as a Buchanan.
Is Beppo's a Buchanan? I'm so
yeah,
confused.
yeah. Wait a minute.
Drew. So
Yeah?
Becky and Bo slept together. Becky got pregnant with Drew. So Asa married her so the baby could be raised as a Buchanan. Bo's son.
Oh, so he can steal it.
Well, he didn't
Basically.
steal it. He just wanted the baby to have the Buchanan name. So he wanted to raise the baby as his son.
But he still would have the Buchanan name with Bo being his father.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Bo didn't want to marry
But I
her.
guess maybe it's an old school.
I think it's
thought.
because Bo wouldn't marry her, so Asa married her instead. I think that's what it was.
Well, yeah, Bo probably wasn't ready for marriage, I guess.
Right. Yeah,
And
exactly.
Yeah, that makes
Probably
sense.
too young, and then Ace is like, all right,
So weird.
yeah.
Can you marry your dad? I don't want to deal with it. Sounds good. Vicky tells Lita that she can't go to the party. She brings up Mountain View. Lita's like, hell no, I don't want to go back there. Don't take me back there. David wants to talk to Jenny, or he won't do what they're saying. Jenny tries to call overseas to Vicky. Can't get a hold of her, of course.
Person to
Um,
person.
person to person. Operator. Lita agrees to go back to the sanitarium or whatever it is. Um, Clint is mad that Richard and Tina, I forget, he goes off with them in his office or something. Chip, oh yeah, Chip's on. Chip, I guess, runs the club or something. I don't know what he's doing there.
I think he just works there. I believe
I
that
feel-
the guy that Clover was scamming was the owner or the manager or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was a different guy. Maybe I'm thinking of a different place. Isn't this the place that like all the acts were?
it's Elmo's. It's where they all hang out now.
No, it's not the other place
I don't think
that
so.
the other acts were. Okay, I'm so confused. Um, I guess they don't go to that place anymore. Maybe it was out of town. It was the place that Nikki went to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give me signature. Oh yeah, he wanted I guess the owner of the place wanted Becky Lee's signature, or he wouldn't pay her the money.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why Clover gets to her. Maybe she gets her to sign it. I didn't see that part, but I'm assuming because she does end up with the money.
Pretended that a fan wanted an autograph and had her sign it. Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, she's being a little devious. I was like, Clover, what are you doing?
Clint and Tina fight it out. Now it's party time. I feel like a lot happens at this party, but a little happens at this party. We meet this Caroline Wells or something. I don't know who she is.
No.
She meets Clint and Vicky. We don't know her.
Mm-mm.
I guess she doesn't hang around then. She seemed like important if somebody said her full name, so I was like, oh, maybe she'll be around, or maybe she'll have something to do with something eventually. Vicky worries that Dorian will act up. Richard recognizes Craig's stone from somewhere, but he can't place where. Which is Dirk wants David to read something. This is what I talked about, the propaganda thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny tries to get through to Vicky. It's busy. Dirk says, you can't call. Oh, what's his name? David can't call Jenny. And just like, I guess he's supposed to trust them and say whatever. So he does these weird interviews. But they never do have like a thing where he like says anything, right? He's just doing like interviews. Or did I miss something? Because I thought he was supposed to like have a speech or something, but it didn't happen.
They might have cut it out.
Yeah, it might have been cut.
Mm-hmm.
Craig goes to Richard. He's like, "Oh, I think I knew you from the Cannes Film Festival." He makes some shit up.
The
I'm guessing. Yeah, I guess Richard knows him from. I don't know. Maybe he did a report. Like he must know him from. I'm sure he'll think of it.
He was working in Europe as a reporter before he came back to Lanby, so I think that's how he knows him.
So he probably does know him as the villain that he is.
Right. He just doesn't remember.
And I'm sure he'll place it when it's like, convenient. He leaves to meet Tina at Elmo's. Richard. Oh yeah, it doesn't. What's her name? Clover is like, oh, Richard's still in love with Becky Lee and all this stuff to piss off Tina.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's I was saying, stupid bitch. I'm not that Tina doesn't deserve it, but I guess I like a dumb bitch better than a stupid bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Woody's around. He goes to Cassie. She's being a party pooper. I guess because she's worried about Brad leaving for Vienna. She can't be with them and wants to go to help her daddy. Herb and Pete are at the party. Dee Dee's there. They don't do anything. Becky Lee sings "Dancing in the Street." Listen, there's something I remember from the '80s, and I remember the song "Dancing in the Street" being in everything.
Yes.
It's in like the Richard Simmons "Dancing to the Oldies" or "Sweating to the Oldies."
So that's the
It's
oldest.
it's on "It's a Living." I don't know if you guys know that
Oh,
show.
I
I'm
know that
old.
show with Cheryl
I
Lee
love
Ralph.
that
Yeah.
show.
It's on Prime. On
Oh,
Prime
good.
right now and Tubi. Um, it was everywhere. I'm just like it must have been like a free song that everybody. Because I'm like, why would she sing this song? But anyway,
I
she
remember
sings
they
this one and
remade
some.
it. I remember they remade that song in the '90s or the early 2000s. It didn't do well.
Yeah, yeah, it didn't. I guess 'cause whatever. But everybody sings. I think in "It's a Living," Cheryl Lee Ralph sings it.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. She's the best.
She is.
Um, so Clover picks on Tina, continues to pick on her throughout the song, and she's like, "Oh yeah, he still loves her." Now Becky Lee's gonna sing this song that might have been their song, and all this shit just to piss Tina off. I don't know why Clover doesn't like Tina. I really wish I did, because I feel like there's something that happened that we don't know about, or was cut from these edits. Jenny finally gets through to Vicky, and this guy is outside the phone booth, and that's where that cut off. And I was like, ah,
I
because
know.
I thought they were like gonna grab her out of there or something. I'm still confused at why the guy didn't grab her out of there. I'm like, because if he's a bad guy, or maybe she was just creeped out by him because he was knocking on the thing. I don't know,
Yeah.
because he doesn't take her because she gets away. Um, Jenny says to come and get a room at some hotel in Austria, whatever, and she will be in touch. I guess she'll go over there. Um, Asa sends everyone to Elmo's because party time's over. Now that I think Vicky got the call from
Yeah.
Jenny, and she was like, "Jenny."
She's like,
So now
Jenny.
everybody knows that
Like,
I
oops.
guess they're alive or whatever's going on because everybody seemed confused at the party and like wasn't they weren't leaving. I was like, why aren't they leaving? He's like, party's over.
Party on,
Um,
party off.
party on. Craig lurks around as Vicky, Clint, and Cassie talk. Dirk, um, and some lady. I put Dirk and lady say, "Do it or else." Is that Greta still, or somebody else?
I
I
don't
guess
know.
it's Greta.
Yeah.
It might be.
Um, Tina takes Richard's arm as Becky Lee sings because she's got to stake her claim in her family member.
Stamp it. Gross.
um, Connie tells Asa about seeing Brad. She opens up to him. I've known since day one. Blah blah blah. Um, I don't know why I have lady here again. Is there some other lady there? I put lady. Oh no, that's Greta. I guess I forgot her name. that quick. Greta acts like Jenny as David is interviewed by the press. I guess saying whatever they need him to say, but he's like miserable about it and just like acting a fool, and they're like not happy with his answers. Dirk gets mad at him about the way he handled them, and I think he said something about Cassie, didn't he? Like, I
Yeah.
tell my daughter I love her, something weird,
Yeah.
and he got mad at him for that. I almost feel like he was like given a clue, but I'm not
Just
sure.
being a code.
They always try to do that, right?
Yeah.
Um, Clover takes the money from Elmo's bar dude. I didn't get his name. She's like, "Don't tell Becky Lee. That'll upset her. She doesn't like to talk about money." Like, don't you get a hint? Like, I don't know. This guy's an idiot.
Yes.
Becky Lee and Richard are catching up while Tina is kind of like the third wheel, and she's like, "Yeah, I have a headache. Can you take me home?" So they leave. Craig talks to Dirk. He's like, well, maybe we should kidnap Cassie to keep David in line because, I have my eyes on her and she trusts me and blah, blah, blah. Dirk's like, not yet. We'll see what happens. Um, Tina has Richard take her home. Tina wants to bang, ew.
Ah.
But Richard, I guess, isn't ready for it. And I think that, like, cut off or cut in some weird way. Um, bad guys are looking for Jenny in the cafe that she went to. I think she went to this cafe to keep an eye on the hotel that she has Vicky going to. I think she's just kind of like watching it until they get there, which they're still in Landview, as we saw. So,
Yeah.
although these flights are only like half hour when in soaps to somewhere. It's like beam me over. Dorian tells Cassie about David's interview. Cassie knows something is up. She's like, he wouldn't do this. Like, she trusts her dad. Richard is kind of going crazy at the paper because of David Rinaldi's stories out there now, and he's trying to, like, I guess, get something done, an article done or something. I don't know. Tina gets there. She tries to talk to him. He's like totally ignoring her.
Oh my god.
Vicky and Clint get there. Everything's going crazy. Jonathan tells Herb that he's interested in having the public investigator job, which has to do with this campaign thing. So I guess we'll get more of that maybe in the next batch of episodes. He's like, your life won't be private anymore. And then we also find out that Herb still cares about Dorian.
Mm.
He's like, well, she is quite a woman and all this, and he still acts like he's in love with her. And that's all I got for this one. That's how it pretty much ended. Anything else?
I have a couple things. Okay,
Go for it.
question. So they were gonna fly to Austria. I don't know. Didn't back then they say like pregnant women couldn't fly? Vicky is pregnant.
Yes.
So that's why Clint's like, no, you can't go. I'm gonna go. So she, because I know now it's different. Like you can fly if you're pregnant, but back then they were like, no flying at all.
Yeah, I guess they knew.
To a certain trimester. I think it's the third.
Right.
trimester.
Yeah. Now it's like a certain trimester, but back then they were like, no.
Back then it was like no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, really? I guess maybe they. I wonder what they thought would happen. Like, wouldn't they need like proof that something has happened to multiple women with
You're right.
people that have flown?
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm curious.
Yeah. Let us know if you know.
I might look that up. Actually, I'm curious to see that.
And the other thing I had was Court's first air date is May 15th. So I don't know how accurate these dates are because we're not near Court yet. So I don't know.
Yes, I don't think these dates are accurate. I'm sure. I think they're around these dates because remember, I told you guys to watch that one episode, which was Vicky and Clint's wedding. But like I remember we watched like a bunch of it, and it took a while to get to that. So I was like, yeah, I knew that those dates were not accurate.
Right.
So this is approximately late April, early May episodes we're doing. Not exactly sure. I don't know how they got the labels on YouTube, but at least it's still like in order. At least you know,
yeah,
we got something. But yeah, I definitely know they're not accurate. Unfortunately, it's all we got to work with, unless we find something with actual air dates. Unfortunately, there weren't crazy soap fans like we were back in the 80s. Well, they were because they were recording it, but we didn't have internet, so nobody could like save anything.
Yeah, nobody could write a synopsis. Though Soap Digest was out then, so make of that as you will.
Yeah. I mean, if we can get a hold of Soap Digests from that time, I'm sure we could figure out things.
Yeah.
But yeah, these were a good batch of clips or whatever they are. Everything went together. Yeah, like I said, we didn't see the public speech that he was supposed to give, so I think the interviews were like the aftermath of him giving the speech. Because they were like, "Oh, you said this and this," and we're like, "He didn't say that." We didn't see that. So. Yeah. But it felt like a lot of it was together for the most part. And I guess I'm guessing Lita was kind of like to get Tina and Vicky back in each other's orbits.
Right.
As like since Tina helped, like maybe Vicky will be nice to her, or they'll get along or whatever for a little bit. Because otherwise I wouldn't know why that happened.
Right.
I wanted Maggie on more. She was only on in like the one scene, but I guess she really isn't doing much until like this campaign might rev up at some point.
Yeah, we don't get Pete either. We don't really see much of Pete's storyline.
Yeah, like they were at the party, but like they just talked about the campaign a little bit, but like nothing else.
Yeah.
Same with Woody.
Sherry, what happened to Sherry? The madam lady. It was like getting.
Yeah, because she was like kind of wicked, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like she was drugging Pete, and Pete didn't even know why. So I'm like, did she get away with it and just like leave town?
Yeah, I don't know.
And we didn't get any of oh my god, what are their names?
I know who you're talking about. I'm trying to think of his name because I saw him in the opening credits. Ed Hall and Ed Hall's like
Lisa.
Yeah,
Joshua
no
Hall,
Ed. Yeah, no, none of him. I'm trying to think of that dad's name. It was a weird name.
Oh my gosh, what's the dad's name?
But yeah, none of them were in it, and I was like, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I really liked it too.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna, because I felt like that was like picking up with the horse race, the horse track thing, and all that, but I guess not, or it was cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next time. Anything else to add?
I did love the scenes where Tina went to see Richard and he kept answering phone calls. I was laughing.
Yeah.
That was great.
I feel bad for her. She has bad timing.
Yeah, she does.
Like, I almost wish she'd be, I don't know. I always try to wish like she'd be a little bit normal and be like, hey, when you're not this busy, come to me. I'll be at the diner. Like something like that.
Yeah.
But she's still trying to talk to him while he's crazy busy. Like, bitch, you know something's going on. Like,
he's obviously
gotta step back.
Come back later.
Read the room, Tina.
Like, yeah, she doesn't get a hint.
No, she doesn't take a hint at all.
Doesn't get the hint.
I also want to say that that I've noticed that Tina has a theme song, not a musical, like just like every time, like a lot of times when she's in a scene, there's like this melancholy kind of piano. Yeah, like
it's like a little score that plays every time she comes on.
Every time she comes around, almost every time she comes on, because it's more. I heard it more in the Richard scene.
Huh.
You're gonna hear it a lot throughout the 80s. Actually, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
really, that's so funny.
Paul Rauch's EP, he tends to give people a theme song. I noticed that more. More on Guiding Light. Reva and Josh have their theme song.
That's so funny.
Have their theme song. Philip and Harley have their theme song. Like it's and then like I think even Reva and Buzz when they were together had their theme song. Sorry, Tommy. I know I'm spoiling things for you, but yeah, Reva and Buzz are together.
Reva and Buzz get together?
Yes. I remember this clear as day. They break
Is it for 5 minutes? Because I'm like
maybe for like 6 months.
But oh gosh.
Maybe 6 months to a year. I think they're together for a minute, but
well. Yeah, I never seen that.
Jenna. Buzz and Jenna.
Yeah, it's right before Jenna comes back.
I love
it.
I like Jenna too.
Yeah. Oh my god, Fiona Hutchison, when is she coming on?
Next year. She's
Yay!
Argentina. She starts in the nice thing about the fun thing about the Argentina stars, it introduces Max and Gabrielle, so it's fun.
Oh,
yeah.
I like Max at times. I can't say I like him all the time.
I liked him in the beginning. You'll like him in the beginning.
Okay. I mean, I liked them, like I said, at times. I liked them with Blair, but then, like, when he was a douche, like, he was a really good douche. So I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But all right. I forgot nothing else to say. I will wrap this episode up. Subscribe, like, and comment. Did you watch in 1986 One Life to Live? Do you know what's going on? Because we're a little bit confused on some things because we're not getting the full stories. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Patreon and regular subscribers. We love you all. And join us next time with some more One Life to Live 1986. Bye.
Bye.